Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. Yesterday, Owlcat participated in the New Game Plus show, which is a game showcase that a few content creators came together to do to try to shine a light on some games that usually you wouldn't really see focused on during the Game Awards show or things of that nature. I thought it was really interesting. There's definitely some things that they have to improve upon for next year, but overall, I believe if some adjustments are made, this show could be a real boon for the games industry in 2027 and moving forward. Owlcat had a massive presence at the show, showcasing all of the games that they are currently developing and a couple that they are publishing as well. So I'm going to have multiple videos coming out in regards to the information that we have learned, but this first one is specifically going to be about Rogue Trader because they talked a lot about the upcoming DLC. Obviously, I'm going to continue covering Rogue Trader, Dark Heresy, and everything else Owlcat related. So if that interests you, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you don't miss any future videos. So the interview was conducted by Luality and Luke Stevens, and they did it with Anatoly Shestov, who serves as the executive producer for the game. And they asked him what excites him the most about this new DLC that's coming up for Rogue Trader, and he said the same thing that excites me the most, which is pretty freaking cool, and that's that it's going to significantly expand on Act 5 of the game. So Rogue Trader is an amazing experience, but I definitely believe the last act is the weakest part, and you could honestly rip out most of that content and you could make the case that the game will be better for it. So Owlcat is going to take this DLC as an opportunity to flesh out that act more, give you more content with the Necrons, and hopefully create a better overall experience. Now, part of the way that they're going to enhance what we're doing with the Necrons is placing a pretty popular Warhammer character in there, Trazen the Infinite, and he's known as someone who has multiple vaults that have collections of wild, crazy things. And Anatoly reiterated that that's definitely going to be a part of the DLC. He also mentioned that we're going to get more information about Inquisitor Calcazar, a pretty major figure in the game. We're going to learn more about his background, what planet he came from, and I suppose some of his experiences before he became a major figure in the Coronis Expanse. We're also going to learn more about the history of the Von Valancius dynasty, reaching beyond Theodora. So perhaps we're even going to potentially talk more about the very first member of the Von Valancius family who received the warrant of trade and set up all of the descendants to have more power than most humans are capable of having in the Warhammer universe. Now, all of that together might give the impression that the DLC is only going to be based on the last act, but that's not true. Just like the other DLC that is dropped for Rogue Trader, this new one is going to focus on your overall adventures. So it's actually going to start in Act 2 when you get to Footfall. And just like the others, you will get a new companion with the DLC. And this companion is going to have access to systems that are completely new to the game. Speaking of which, the DLC is going to add a new augment system that is going to allow you to replace pieces of your body with Imperium technology, or frankly with heretic options as well. So one option that Anatoly mentioned is that you can give yourself real iron hands and not just iron hands from biomancy. I think that could be very, very interesting, especially if the different augments you use are clearly visually represented on your character. It might create some ways to make some really, really cool looking character models that you can run around with. I would love that. I think that absolutely sounds fantastic, and it makes me even more excited to do another heretic run so that I can just obviously look like someone who is completely given himself over to chaos. Now, while this is definitely very cool and should give players a new experience, Anatoly kind of tempered expectations and made it clear that this DLC does less to completely change your experience than the first two DLCs did. So he mentioned in Void Shadows, you got new archetypes along with the new companion, and there was a ton of content throughout the adventure. And then with the Arbitrator, they added not only a new origin and new companion and new archetypes, but they also added shields and other weapons into the game. And so he said it's not going to be as comprehensive as what we got from those two DLCs, but there will be other things in this new one that we will absolutely find compelling and will give a good reason to dive into the game once again. Speaking of which, from a narrative perspective, he shared that the DLC is going to have a deeper dive into the Astra Militarum and the Adeptus Mechanicus factions of Warhammer. So narratively, we're going to deal with some factions within the Imperium in a way that we haven't before. Now, overall, there's going to be 12 to 15 hours of content for this DLC, which is pretty consistent with what we've seen from the previous DLCs for Rogue Trader. And finally, Anatoly said that they are far from finished with it. So it's not clear at all when we'll actually get this DLC in their hands. But of course, whenever that happens, you can be guaranteed this will be a great place for you to get all the information about what that DLC contains. And that's it. That's all the information regarding Rogue Trader specifically that I got for the New Game Plus show. But again, there was a ton of information dropped about a variety of games. So stay locked in here. I'll have a video. I don't know if my video about Avowed is going to come out before or after this, but I'll definitely have a video about Avowed dropped today, and I'm going to try to see if I can fit in a video about Dark Heresy as well. And then we'll still have Starfinder, Shadow of the Road, and maybe even a couple of other games that we have to cover as well. So lots to do over the next couple of days. Again, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Hope all of you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.